Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Friday, August the 15th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set for a positive start with ASX futures up around 0.1%. Global stocks were mixed overnight, with European stocks holding on to early gains, while in the US shares were mostly lower and Treasury yields rose after market expectations of an interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve was shaken by stronger than expected producer price inflation. However, the S&P 500 managed to finish at another record closing high. Among the Mag 7 stocks, most higher, aside from Apple, which slipped. Elsewhere, Foxconn forecast a significant rise in third quarter revenue as the world's biggest iPhone maker said it had for the first time made more money from its AI server business than from smart electronics last quarter. The company is Nvidia's biggest server maker and Apple's top iPhone assembler. Intel shares rose strongly on news that the Trump administration is in talks with the chipmaker to have the US government potentially take a stake in the company. Cisco Systems fell after the network equipment manufacturer's broadly inline forecast did little to encourage investors. Deere fell heavily after the farm equipment maker reported a lower quarterly profit and tightened its annual profit forecast. While Tapestry shares plunged after the Coach handbag maker forecast annual profit below estimates. Shares of the copper miners fell, tracking the red metals price lower, with BHP and Rio Tinto's US listed shares down more than 1.5%. US producer prices increased by the most in 3 years in July, rising 0.9% amid a surge in the cost of goods and services, suggesting a broad pickup in inflation. A 1.1% increase in the cost of services accounted for more than 3/4 of the broad-based increase in the PPI. While on the goods side, beef prices jumped 4.5%, egg prices were up more than 7%. On the geopolitical front, President Trump has said he believes his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, is ready to end his war in Ukraine, saying, "I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they get along." Well, the leaders are due to meet face-to-face tonight in Alaska, with expectations that at least a second meeting involving Ukraine's leader will be required to broker peace. US Treasury yields rose on the higher than forecast producer prices, which lessen the likelihood that interest rates will be cut in September. The yield on the 2-year note rose to 3.74%. The 10-year was around 4.29%. And the US dollar rose across the board in the wake of the inflation data. The Aussie dollar tumbling back to 65 US cents. And Bitcoin has fallen from its recent record high to be trading at around 118,000 US dollars. Oil prices have surged to a one-week high after President Trump warned of severe consequences if his talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Ukraine fail. Brent crude futures rising almost 2% to $66 a barrel. Copper weaker, while iron ore fell around 1.5% to $101 US dollars a tonne. And gold prices fell as the US dollar and Treasury yields rose. Spot gold down 0.5% to $3,337 an ounce. Locally today, CBA releases its household spending data for July. And among the companies reporting today are Cochlear, Healthco, Healthcare and Wellness REIT and Mirvac. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again on Monday.